without question. And to me, I mean, sometimes it's cool to see these teams win in these close fashions because it kind of shows how they play when all the pressure's in the line, right? We saw that very intense final moments of that Asylum map. That showed a lot of composure, and that showed a lot of, obviously, leadership within the team. And again, just an incredible map to watch all around. So now, see if they can finish the job once again. They did it 2 weeks ago. Can they finish it now in week number 8?
Well, like I said, it would be their second time winning in Emergence Stays Season 2. This is the very map that they did, in fact, beat NRG on as well. So let's see if they'll be able to replicate that success. And Enzim has been the man to watch out for, one of the new members, and he has been playing incredibly well. Hits a brick onto TJ, and then we'll focus attention onto Noe, and easily is going to take him out. This up top battle going to be so pivotal in the second half, but right now it's just going to give us a little taste as to what to expect. And Rise off the rip, already going for that domination over Hive. They're going to fall a little bit short, but I got to say, an initial like that, already going for the domination, it shows Hive what Rise is working with.
Yeah, they're playing aggressive. Obviously, they have a lot of momentum coming off their last match. Hive won their semifinals, obviously 2-0, and they won it quite some time ago. So they've been sitting for a bit. So they got a little bit of warming up to do, I'd say, on the map. But again, they managed to stick around in this round. You see Tidy in the kill feed getting that down. Also getting down himself. So trades beginning to go underway. It looks like, though, they are favoring Rise Nation. You see the kill feed starting to light up red. Of course, we're on long spawns, right? So you start to get those numbers, start to get aggressive. You can find yourselves getting that full elim, getting that trip cap. So Hive have to be careful. You're going to lose too many numbers.
Well, they already lost 3, right? Of course, TJ and Tidy will, in fact, be spawning back up. Noah's got some time, but that gives the opportunity for Rise to push into the spawn and try and take the home hill of Hive. But some good fights going down. TJ trying to hold his own. Unfortunately, not able to do so. Luckily, though, Tidy, so teammate, will, in fact, be able to come through and pick up a nice kill himself to put Rise at bay. They kind of reset the fight once again, but you do see the lead, 160 to 79.
Yeah, and counting. They're just now starting to hop on that B hill, and they're going to have a lot of work cut out for them right now in this round. As they look to just past the 100-point mark. Of course, you can see the win condition on the screen, right? Swarm will still win, even if they hold one hill for the entirety of this round. So the Hive win condition definitely comes around. Either breaking C, right, getting that full elim, trip cap, whatever it may be, but they can no longer win on those 2 hills.
Get the breaks, right? You've got to get aggressive. Hive knows this, and they need to get to work. C is going to be their only objective that they have to take. And Rise just basically trying to hold down their home hill. If they get Bravo, hey, more power to them. That just gives them more of a win condition in their favor. But you do see Rise still able to pick up a couple of kills. And they're sitting pretty so far. First round has dragged on for quite some time. Respawn economy might be a little bit worrisome moving forward, but as of right now, it's going to be okay. But with Hefe, if he does decide to spawn back up, which I doubt he will be on his last life. Rise is going to be retaking A, and Hive, anything short of a miracle, is not going to be able to take over this round. It seems as if Rise is going to win round number 1, a long one, but a successful one.
Hopping off to the right start, of course, this is the Rise Nation map pick. A long, long 3-minute round. It almost ended in like 30 seconds. Yeah. Instead of they do take it the distance. Getting off to a good start. You see the slaying differences, right? 6, 5, 7, 2, 3. A lot of ones on the other end. It's definitely a good start coming in from the Swarm team. Again, probably have all the momentum in the world. Definitely feeling good after that big semifinal win. And we're going to very likely see the same old dance when it comes to that utility on the side. A lot of matching when it comes to those weapon placements. So I'm going to look at the initial again. We've seen Inzem and Avexis definitely be the stars for this Rise Nation team since this new roster kind of formed together. If they're playing hot, right, if they're hitting their shots, they're a tough, tough group to beat. But on the other end, we saw what players like Noe were doing. You mentioned TJ, how powerful he's been for this team. And keep in mind, this is a team that plays top 4 at the major, right? This is a team that has been winning big matches as of late. But so far, once again, it is starting to favor Rise Nation early.
Detox taking out TJ early on Demise. Onto the flank of Avexis. Can't close it out. Avexis will make him pay. And now Noe will have the full roster from Rise, focusing their attention on the hill. Noe will pick up Enzim, so that's a good start. But unfortunately backing up, but actually, no, he picks up yet another one, but Rise will, in fact, answer back. But Avexis will trade on to Enzim, so that's a big hit. But regardless, though, that's going to be 3 down for the side of Rise and 2 for Hive. Rise will have a little bit of a lead. How long can they hold it?
See Drake's dancing around over at B, getting hit from all angles. Oh, he's going to finally drop, so Hive will once again take control of B. You're going to see Rise Nation off spawn making their decision of where they want to go next. Looks like the B hill is going to be their choice.
Want to pay attention to TJ as well. Just his respawn count, right? He's on 1 of 4 lives. Still quite a bit of time remaining in this round overall. So if TJ gets a little bit carried away, a little bit crazy, we know that he loves to get into those fights. So if he loses his life, he's going to be on his last life here in just round number 2. So something to pay attention to. As far as his positioning on the map, he's going to be hanging back onto Charlie. So he's definitely trying to maintain his life, and it shouldn't be in any danger unless Rise decides to just go ahead and go for that OE. But at this point in time, Hive has a nice size lead. They're not trying to get overzealous. You see them set up on the map. They're not trying to push Rise. So at this point, it is up to Rise to take the game into their favor. They've got to get aggressive. They know that. They're going on the attack now, Ryan.
Yeah, and Hive doing a good job so far, getting that initial damage in and defending those hills. The knives come through. And Rise Nation, they're continuing to push forward. Again, Hive has crossed the 200-point mark. So they're just kind of play back, play some defense. Of course, they're going to have players off spawn very soon. On the side of Rise, they have to get aggressive. You see Cog still has the win condition in about 30 seconds. You see the members of Hive heading back towards the C hill. They know that's their only resource left. Only 2 members now on the physical hill because the other 3 are actually pushing over towards B, kind of forcing Rise Nation's hand, keeping them away from their home hill.
Tidy slipped through.
Tidy, yep, makes the smart play, hops onto B. It's going to force Rise Nation to double back, send their resources to 2 different hills. Tidy wins the big 1v1, so at the very least, Hive will also have control of B in case his teammates lose the fight over at C. And so far, Taylor, it looks like they're winning that one as well.
Awesome hold from Hive. Another long round, 2 minutes and 49 seconds, but a successful one for Hive. And something to mention as well, I mentioned TJ just a little bit earlier. He was sitting at 1 of 4 lives. He hung back on his home hill, just trying to maintain that. Rise applied that pressure, but TJ came away with his life, which puts him just a little bit higher in that respawn. Economy sitting at about 2 of 4. So overall, he's out of the danger zone as of right now. So we have a nice little matchup here, all tied up 1-1. Avexy's having a great game, though. Only person sitting at double digits at 11 eliminations, but something we do expect from the man of Avexy's.
Yeah, I mean, the Vexes has been making play after play. He's a big reason, honestly, they did win that Asylum map. You saw the big double kills he continued to get with the Incend grenades.
Yeah,
and again, that slaying force on this Rise Nation team, especially after the update. Again, we know the way Vexes plays. He's one of those psycho bouncers, as we like to call them. So him and Inzem getting in there, getting fast. It's just such a dynamic duo in those team fights.
Bit of slower initial between these guys. Typically, there's a lot of fights up top where the neutral hill is on the second half, but slower start as of now, and Hive does have an early point lead. They'll continue to maintain that, and the first blood will in fact drop off as I believe Shock, yeah, Shock was finished off. Or not Shock, but one of them was finished off just a little bit earlier. Regardless though, Rise is making some moves. They're pretty spread apart, I gotta say, and so is Hive. Hive is stacking up too strong onto Alpha, so maybe they're a little bit concerned over that OE.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow-played map so far. Obviously, the team getting a hold of B. Across the 100-point mark now. They find themselves on the defensive. Drix, a couple nice shots, but his teammate is there. Tidy isn't able to get the full revive. Has to be careful now as he's getting pushed by 2 members of Rise Nation. Ends up taking out 1. Demise ends up being the person to unfortunately down his teammates. So Rise will capitalize on that unless Demise can make an absolute hero play. I don't know if they know that Tidy is sitting there down.
Ooh.
He finally ends up dying, but Demise is there to make the play. So the B hill, once again, after being tested, falls back into the hands of Hive. On the other end, you see Inzem getting a kill on the TJ. Maybe we have Rise Nation making a push for an OE as you can start to see their members edging towards A. But unfortunately for them, there are members of Hive off spawn and there are members waiting.
Vex is in a tough position. He got that neutralization, tried to go for the full cap. Unfortunately, he will lose his life, and that's going to be now up to Detox and Co. to try and go clutch, which Detox and Drix did a great job taking Hefe and Demise out. Tidy will answer onto Detox, but unfortunately he will go down, and that allows Drix to go through and potentially capture Bravo for himself. We do see the scoreline, though. Hive has a nice size lead, 191 and counting to 117. So Rise has a ton of work ahead of them. And at this point, I don't know if they're going to be able to recover. Hive now in control of Bravo and Charlie. And if Rise, anything short of a miracle, it should be Hive's round.
Yeah, see Detox poking at Noe. Noe's going to choose to preserve his life and just continue to be annoying. Obviously, Rise Nation is over on the C hill. Hive has plenty of time. They can hold the B hill and still win, but of course, they want to get that home hill back as well if possible. You never want to just kind of have your life based on one sole hill. And Shock is trying to make his way over there. Actually getting it down. Drix is there on as well, gets the kill. Rise Nation now find themselves on all 3 hills. Tidy and Noe, the last remaining members. Tidy has 2 in front of him. A third does come behind.
It's happening.
They all actually die. Rise Nation, they've stolen the round away.
The miracle happens. Like I said, they need a miracle now to win that round, and they did it in the end. Ryan, break it down for me. Where did Hive start to fall apart?
They lost their home hill. So once they lost their home hill, of course, they're down in numbers. And at the same time, right when they lose that home hill, you look over to B. Rise Nation, they start to push over. You're going to see Shock kind of making his way over. They're getting hit by a lot of players. Does end up finally getting that down. And then the other player, okay, he sees Shock in the down. His teammate turns over there. Drix hops right over the cover, gets the chunk. So now you have Rise Nation winning over on B. And then, of course, they did win the home hill as well. So Hive, unfortunately, losing the 2 hills they had at the last moment.
A big loss. In the last moment, indeed, I think they were sitting at 244 total points. So they were poised to take over that victory. Rise, in the end, though, was able to just sneak in and get the trip cap. And phenomenal work on their part. We do have Ensigns down. So, of course, you have to be on the lookout for Vexy just a little bit later. As we'll be watching Hefe making that push onto Shock. He pushed straight into him. But Vexy's, though, into an up-close and personal fight with Demise, pushing him back. The Vexy's will finally get that drop, and he'll go ahead and join Detox to push TJ back.
Yeah, great start coming in from Avexy's Rise Nation. Starting to get aggressive. Hefe is there, though, to respond. Detox will fall, and you see Hive heading over towards A. They've given up B. Rise Nation, though, is there waiting. You see if Vexy's getting that early Lancer fire. Taking a low health himself, but still making sure he gets those shots in for his teammates while staying alive. The kill feed is lit up. It's entirely red. Advantage in favor of Rise Nation. Hefe has no choice but to retreat. And now he's going to probably be pinched by a couple more members. There they are, a couple of just big, big shots coming through. That's going to end up being Hefe's demise as Rise Nation will eclipse the 100-point mark. Of course, they have that B hill. They've managed to fight off the OE. Things are looking good for our Swarm team.
This is the last round of the half. Going to be short spawns, so everybody can just throw their bodies if they please. So at this point, Rise will have a minor lead in terms of respawn economy, but Hive still sitting pretty. So overall, this is definitely probably going to go all the way to the 250 mark from both sides. But as of now, Rise has a nice size lead, and Demise just, I guess, warming up still as they'll be stacking onto their home hill and finally pushing up top. Got to say, Hive, though, in their positioning, they're already down a massive amount of points, and they don't seem poised to make any pushes, maybe over towards Bravo, but Rise, I mean, they're going to be set up. They're going to be able to counter that push easily. Hive needs to do some work and quick if they want to try and take this round.
Yeah, pretty much matched on both sides of the map. Push starts to come through. Drix is going to fall. 5v4 situation now in favor of Hive. Inzem looks to answer back. Unfortunately, he falls to the hands of TJ. Detox going to watch his fallen comrade and edge back towards their home hill. Of course, Rise Nation hops on C as well. Both home hills looking to be in their favor. It's going to force Hive to have to double back. Shock is getting aggressive over on the Hive home. You're going to see Hefe and Noe both in front of him.
He got the cap.
And this should be it for Rise Nation. I don't know if anyone is able to get there over towards A. Someone gave it a try, but was unfortunately knocked down in Rise Nation. Do what Hive could not do last time. Get that lead, secure it, and now they are taking off on their map pick.
A good first half for Rise. You'd have to think 3-1 going into the second half, and that up top fight is going to be a bloody one. We're talking about some good initials, right, from the men of Vexy's, right? You have Shock, who's going to be pushing through, of course, to be met up by TJ and Demise up top. So it's going to be a great one, to say the least. And at this point, Rise doing a great job slaying out. You see a couple of them really standing out, specifically Vexy's at 24 total elims, nearly double of everyone on Hive. But regardless, one person cannot make the full team work. You have to have everybody on the same wavelength. Let's see how this push works out. Inzem, good stun to push Noe back. Waiting for the stun to clear out. Does, in fact, hit Noe with a nice brick, but it's not going to be enough. TJ continues to apply that pressure up front, but the incense, though, will come through And I'm seeing a lot of blue.
Good early utility coming in from Hive. Tidy. Of course, he drops his teammate, but at least cleans up the kill on Drix as well. That's 4 members down on the side of Rise Nation Detox, the last remaining member as Hive secures that neutral hill to kick off the second half. Of course, these are the longest spawns of the half. So you can get those numbers. A lot of times you can go for that full team wipe. It's like Hive is going to choose to defend the E hill. You're going to see Rise Nation. They have those flashbangs out, and they're beginning to throw them. Here comes the push. Hive looking at that initial damage in. Player up top getting a lot of good Lancer fire in there now. Demise is there for the follow-up. Gets one, hits him with a nice knife. The trades come through, and the trades are beginning to favor the COG team. 4 members do go down once again for Rise. Drix, the last remaining member. The question is, where can he be found?
Awesome hold for the Hive side. Now Drix, like you said, where's he going to be at? Have no idea. Actually, I do. He's going to be on to the D hill. Regardless, though, holding his own. He'll stay up for the time being. But that was a lot of damage, right? That was a great hold for Hive. But regardless, Ryan, they're going to be on D and F. Demise, though, a solid win to maintain D. And Hive will stay in control with the 130 to 85 lead.
Yeah, I mean, those pushes, despite him dying, make his team's life a little easier. Of course, Hive had to throw some resources back at the home hill. That's going to take away less players over towards the neutral. But it looks like so far it's not mattering. Hive getting that first kill with the Incend. The Vexies is going to be dropped as well. Detox will join him once again. Drix and Inzem find themselves the last alive. Inzem's going to make the big push. It's not going to happen. You got to imagine Rise will start to save their respawns in this situation. Drix once again, like a deja vu. Taylor makes the same play over towards D. Rise Nation trying to kind of keep themselves at bay, but you're going to see a Vexies 0%, Inzem 0%. Across the board, they're just choosing not to spawn back through, so a valiant effort by Drix, but it will not be enough. Hive, they maintain control throughout this round. They keep this one close at 3-2.
And they had a good initial, right? And they had a really good initial onto E. They had a great defensive hold on the second push for E for Rise Nation, held them back. It was just a series of great holds for Hive. I mean, overall defensively, they played that great. They can continue to do that. They can absolutely tie this up and take the lead overall. To outslay Rise there was incredibly impressive, but now things get a little bit more deadly. The drop shot is there, and that makes that initial oh so much more important. And if it goes well for Hive, once again, they're going to walk away not only with the neutral hill, but also with the drop shot. But Rise is absolutely just as capable. Ryan, call the action for me. Let's see how this initial goes.
Yeah, we are on board once again with the Vexies. So making so many plays throughout the night for this Rise Nation squad. Inzem has been joining him as well. It's a nice full spread, but he's taking a low health as well. Noe is going to follow up and make him play early advantage in favor of Hive. Shock getting hit from multiple angles as his teammate Drix falls. Shock has no choice but to move back as now he's being swarmed by members of Hive. That's going to be a quick 4 dead of Vexies. Trying his best to keep his team alive, but he's going to start to get pushed. The longer he stays alive, the more opportunity they have to get involved. Unfortunately, though, the trip cap is underway for Rise. He gets hit by a big Incend Tidy. Waiting to throw the second. It's going to at least hurt Rise Nation's entry onto the hill. You're going to see TJ just trying to get involved in that hill, get the full cap, and he ends up securing it. 3-3, just like that, Taylor. We knew this would be a close one, and map number 1 is surely delivering.
Absolutely. 3-3, all tied up. Second half been really fruitful for the side of Hive. They've done a great job. I talked about it earlier. I was like, you know, there's a player on Rise Nation. They're sitting at 24 total elims. That's nearly double that of anybody on Hive. But now you have like 2 or 3 players on the side of Hive sitting at 20-plus elims themselves. They've turned up. They've been winning the initial, and that first initial in the last round was phenomenal. Great stuff from Hive. Winning the neutral hill, winning that drop shot. It was just an absolute bloodbath, and the kill feed was just absolutely lit up blue. Great stuff overall. We'll get to watch it all again, right? We'll get to see our man TJ off this start. Going in, and it's going to be Inzem, of course, right across the way. Let's see what TJ can do.
Rise Nation, unfortunate team down, but a lot of trades back and forth, players on each side falling. And Noe using good spacing, hitting a brick on both of these players. You can see their body language. They're forced to just kind of sit there. Vexie's taking a low health. Noe continues to just bounce around, gets one. Shock is there for the trade. It looks like E has been taken over by Rise Nation. The drop shot now in the hands of Detox, but They didn't get the full cap. They didn't get their home hill either, Taylor. So Hive is actually kind of secretly starting to build that lead. And Rise Nation still doesn't have a single objective.
No, they don't. But
it should change soon, though.
It should, and you got to be thinking, right? I mean, they're starting to slay out, and on top of that, too, they also have the drop shot in their possession with Detox, so there should be no reason as to why they can't capitalize in this very moment and grab a couple of hills. Avexis, though, trying to go for the double home hill setup. He will lose his life. Noe, a great job taking him out. So we'll continue to see that fight for the neutral hill finally going into the hands of Rise, but already quickly, Hive is going to be making their way too strong to F.
See the mark on Inzem. They know exactly where he's going to be. So the members of Hive are going to test over towards that F hill. A couple members of Rise are there waiting. Is it going to be enough? They have some team fire help from the other side of the map. Inzem misses the first incense grenade. But here comes the drop shot. Detox. He's not going to miss when it comes to that weapon. Demise is going to fall, and if Demise spawns back in, that's going to put him on 1 respawn. So something to keep track of. Actually, is the respawn economy as the kill feed starts to light up in red. Detox makes his way over to E to help his teammate, because you're going to see Tidy pushing Shock. Unfortunate misroll, but Shock makes him pay. No, he going to bounce around. He's going to also fall. And Demise spawn back in, Taylor, so that's going to put him obviously at a bit of a disadvantage. You're going to see TJ choosing not to spawn back in at least yet. Tidy also sitting at that 0%. So 3 members right now of Hive choosing not to spawn back in. On the other end, the respawn economy looks pretty healthy for Rise Nation, so you wonder what they're going to do. And they actually do spawn back in.
They do. It's still a close round. And I think at
still
that point,
plenty of time.
They knew Rise was going to be clumped up onto E. It looked as if off the spawn they were going for that OE. Unfortunately, no, it won't get dropped. Tidy needs to win this engagement onto Detox, and he does just that. He'll focus his attention with the meat shield up top for Shock. He'll get the revive, of course, onto Demise. Hefe will drop down as well. Hive is making a good push here. This is looking promising. As Rise continues to drop off, that's going to be 2 down. Inzem just about lost his life. You see Rise backing up. They're going to now try to maintain F, but if Hive makes this work, it would make it all worth it, but TJ's going to be on his last life.
Yeah, and 2 members of Hive are pushing over towards F. I mean, Hive secured the neutral hill, of course, had their home hill, so you got to wonder if it's worth making that push, given the circumstances. You had an opportunity to regain the time back with those 2 hills, but now you got to imagine it's going to surely be a Rise Nation round, barring a huge play, and TJ's going to be permanently taken out of the game. Someone from Hive needs to get on that F hill if they're going to have a chance. Their full Elam's going to be underway, and I just got to question some of those decisions, Taylor. I got to question if throwing those respawns at it were worth it, and again, then to throw Live away over on the opposite home hill, you got to wonder if maybe you're better off using those resources holding the 2 cap.
I think that probably would have been the best play. Getting too aggressive. I mean, it makes sense, right? They kind of wanted just to secure that round as early as they possibly could, but getting too aggressive obviously meant that they lost their lives, and they were already committed at that point, so they just needed to respawn back in. And now you're going into a round that obviously would tie it up, but would also give Rise the first win here in Grand Finals, and Rise definitely is dominating the respawn economy. A couple of them are low. I mean, when I'm looking at Avexis, but he's at 2 of 4. Everybody else is at 3 or 4 of 4 of 4. Meanwhile, you have Demise and TJ on the Hive side at 1 of 4, and you know they're going to be involved off the initial. And if they lose their lives here off the initial, they're going to have to be forced to respawn back in on their last life. That's going to be tough.
The opening kill comes through. It is going to be Tidy. Once again, those pieces of utility just being the catalyst for some of these pushes, and now they find themselves with a 5v4. Beginning to get aggressive. Drix is going to be eliminated. The trades come through. Inzem gets 1 before being traded, but here comes Avexis. Rise Nation surrounding that E hill. Hive waiting to find an opportunity to strike, but it looks like Rise Nation will strike first. Avexis does grab the drop shot and looks to just get away with the power weapon, getting away to safety. I like that decision by him not to get involved, not to throw the power weapon away by mistake. And we still haven't had a hill capped yet, Taylor. We're still waiting for the first points to go on the board, and there's been so many fights as finally D gets capped, and Rise are the first ones to put a point in the board. But here come Hive now, 3 dead. Drix and Detox, now they're the last alive. This has been so back and forth.
Oh, but they are across the map, so luckily they're going to stay alive with plenty of time for Rise to get back up. But definitely a chaotic initial overall. That left TJ on his last life. Demise was pinned up in a corner for the longest time, but luckily he stayed up to maintain at least 1 of 4, so we'll have to keep an eye out for him. TJ, he's not going to be able to get into the mix again, and whenever that fight for the new drop shot starts to occur, if TJ's not going to be there, that's going to hurt, I think, Hive overall, because Rise is going to be able to commit a lot more people than Hive is going to be comfortable with.
Yeah, and I guess the one good part about this setup for Hive right now is keep in mind at the E-Hill there's also that drop shot. Rise Nation knows it. So Hive have the ability to kind of force Rise Nation's hands of where they need to push, because Rise cannot just let them rack up those points and get the drop shot. Even if they make that OE push, you're going to let Hive get that free power weapon. So they're forced to push, and so far, both teams trading blows. You're going to see Noe taken out, Detox taken out as well. And Hive continue to light the kill feed again. They have 2 players on 0 respawns. They have to be very, very careful. Sorry, make that 3 players on 0 respawns. This will be a big round win for them, getting those respawns back. Of course, Rise Nation find themselves on that point, so of course every round win is very, very critical for the members of Hive. Did a good job building about a 50-point lead, and now they get to try to extend that even further.
Just that lead is so fragile, right? You know, when you have
moment.
3 players on 0-4, you can have that lead and it could just fall to the wayside so quick. And right here's that push that could be the damaging effect that Rise have been waiting to deal to the side of Hive, and it might in fact happen. Detox will push Demise. Another person low on respawns, but luckily not going to be on 0-4. Tidy will in fact drop himself.
That's the guy you want to drop.
Absolutely, he's the one with the most lives, but he's still going to be responding to 1 of 4. But but Demise takes out Avexes, and Avexes is now out. It's going to be a permanent 5v4, at least as of right now.
And that gives Hive a little bit of extra breathing room now as Detox picks up the new drop. Looks like they're on D as well, so even if Hive were to lose one of their players sitting on 0 at the very least, brings to a permanent 4v4 as Noe gets one, gets the reaction shot, almost follows it up. Unfortunately, his teammate's the one that kills him as Shock. Gets that elimination as well and actually hops on the F-Hill.
And Hive did it? No.
Hive, they need to get 1 more point. 3 members are permanently out.
No way.
That team kill. Did it do it? Tidy gets 1. Inzem is going to try his best to hold these players off. There comes the flashbang. Hits 1 shot. Can he make it a second? No. But Tidy falls. It's all up to Demise. Rise Nation get all 5 kills, and they have taken yet another round. What a way to close out the first map, and you have to wonder, almost certainly actually, was it that team kill? Noe kills 1, has all the momentum. His teammate kills him, and then Shock kills the trade.
No.
Such unfortunate circumstances for Hive, but if you're Rise Nation, you take those.
Oh, no, 249. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That they fought for 3 minutes.
Almost 4.
Almost 4 minutes to take the L.
It was that team kill play. That's what it came down to.
That is rough. That is rough.